So there's a big question remaining that really does need to be answered. Is large outposts worth it at all? We already know that small outposts give exactly the same amount of sigils, as both medium and large offer exactly the same too. And considering the obvious vast differences with large having 4 entries, medium having 3 entrances, and small only having 2, let alone the number of rounds you've got to complete for each one, with larger defense outposts requiring even more waves to complete, it's fair to expect that the loot from those larger outposts must be worth it, right? So test time, and first things first, it's worth noting where exactly do each outpost spawn. All of these spots here will definitely spawn at the very least a small defense outpost, whilst these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outposts on the left hand side can spawn either a medium or large outpost. Meaning at the very least, if you intend to just run small defense outposts, well, you're kind of sport for choice really. And if you only wanted to run small outposts, all you got to do is activate a mission and get the hell out of Dodge, and wait roughly 50 minutes for the next ones to spawn in. Running a small on Gamma is relatively straightforward. A couple of Reapers either side or Palovias to block Revenants running through will definitely make this a much easier defense, and most definitely riding an Ocedon will help you get through these pretty quickly. Offering only 4 rounds to complete, it's definitely worth starting with slapping down a resource generator first.
Surplus generators may seem wasteful, since they don't
on the opposite side of where the first wave is coming from. And if you're already waiting for the next wave timer to start, you can simply bypass that by pressing skip operations on the vault. Wave 2, you definitely want to be putting up some towers now at the front end of each, obviously giving you a bit of relief time between what's attacking next. And personally, a few people might go for auto straight away. I like to go for explants because you can get at least 2 down either side. And honestly, on Gamma, 1 Ocedon will be strong enough. And obviously shooting some ice with your Ocedon definitely helps to slow down your attackers, buying you a bit of time to easily see you through to the 3rd wave. On the 3rd wave, that's where I like to place down my auto turret, and usually a Tesla and another turret on the other side. And if you've got any spare, go for maybe a Tesla. We haven't quite got one yet, so we're going to keep going. Of course, if the rounds take a while, you'll generate more resources from these lovely resource generators here. So you might be able to put down a Tesla for the final wave. You could get the dreaded Bronto. It can happen. It might happen. And enemies will come from both sides now. You can see here on Gamma, we've had just enough time to run back and forth without even the need of a Reaper. And on your 4th and final wave, anything you can. Definitely a Tesla and an auto at the back. And depending on how many resources you've generated, get destroying these resource generators now. And whatever you can replace them with, at the very least, explants should do the job. And it's been advised as well, Denatheriums can come in handy as well for this stage in case you do get the Bronto. Lucky for us, we've had the Dilos, so we'll get rid of them as quick as we can. And the Therizino. On later difficulties, the Therizino can be an absolute nightmare to take out. You do want to be careful of this dude. Therizino can one-shot you off your tame, especially on Alpha. But there we go, in no time at all. And that's at least Gamma. Bagging us, well, 1 likely low-level Thrall, and in fact some curse gear from even a Gamma, which is pretty surprising to see. But on medium, it really steps up. Here's me attempting one on Alpha, solo on official, and even with a plethora of Reapers guarding each entrance, in fact I'll explain exactly what I've got there. Even with all of this, that dreaded Bronto can really switch up the game, as you'll see play out here. Medium Alpha, we've got 2 Chalies here. 2 Denatheriums, 1 Reaper, because that is the remainder of our Reapers. Over here, we've got a wall of Reapers down there. 2 Chalies here. On this side, we've got a wall of Reapers, 2 Denatheriums, and 2 Chalies there. 20 minutes of setup. That'd take 20 minutes. Jeez. Quick. Resource. 20 seconds. Resource. Resource. Okay. And they're all bleeding down that side. Interesting. Denatherium's blocking the boulders, I think. Alright, there's going to be a bigger target soon. Can you get through? Yes, you can. Oh, you dirtbag. I was worried about that. A blooming glue in here as well. Oh, they've all come down here. Joking. What? What? How did one get through? We didn't even know. Right, start getting up defenses now, quick. Everyone needs a heavy. 291. Turret there. Explant there. Turret there. Get rid of this. Explant there. There we go. That's why the Challies are there. Did some damage. They did some damage. Here we go. Where's that Bronto? Just looking in that direction. Whoa! It's my side. Find the weak points in its armor before it samples my entire outpost. Alright, need to somehow take out these feet. I don't fancy. Why? Well, that's that then. I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, no chance. Oh, man. Screw you. But if successful, at least on Gamma, you can expect to receive a definitely higher level thrall and possibly some slightly better gear. We actually got an apprentice Malwyn saddle from this. But for a large, at least solo, well, God help you. I don't know how you do a large solo. You're going to struggle to do a large solo. With 8 waves to do, 4 entrances to defend, this isn't an easy challenge. Especially in those later ones when you could get a Bronto coming from any angle. But this is all about the loot, right? But if successful, at least on Gamma, you'll find yet again another thrall, usually a better RNG. With possibly some variables here, we are seeing some structures this time that we don't usually get in lower tiers. And that's at least on Gamma. And not a single cryo in sight, I just noticed that. Where's all the cryos at? Small beta. We're finding a max thrall this time, along with a second one. So 2 thralls for beta per person in your tribe. And we're seeing a tech BP, which is nice to see. As well as a few more mats and a couple of cursed BPs too. And medium beta. Look what you can do when you listen to me. Keep protecting my outposts. And I might find it in my heart. Once again, 2 new thralls. We've got a 328 here. And notably, some better cursed gear. Perhaps we do see a cursed tech chest piece here. Possibly better loot. It looks like it could be better loot. Or maybe it's just RNG. And large beta. Look what you can do when you listen to me. Keep protecting my outposts. And I might find it in my heart. Once again, 2 more thralls. And strangely again, no cryos for large. That's fascinating. And does appear to be slightly better BPs here this time around. We can see a cursed compound bow BP. But beyond that, not really noticing too much anything else to be excited about. Maybe that tech BP there as well. And then on to small alpha. Look what you can do when you listen to me. We should now find, hopefully, 1, 2, 3 thralls. There we go. With some greater traits being available to us this time around, which is nice to see. As well as a cursed tech helmet BP. I think cursed tech-wise pre-made though, which I'm hoping we might find. And very little else. We've got a tech railgun BP, I guess, and a tech sword BP, but they're going to be pretty expensive to make. With medium alpha, once again giving us those 3 thralls. 1, 2, 3. most certainly feeling like way more BPs this time around. Look at that. I mean, we've got 2 tech cursed BPs there. We've got a couple of other cursed BPs. We've got a tech rifle cursed BP, a tech sword cursed BP. Certainly a few more traits and a few more cursed pre-made items down here, including a max cursed rifle there. That's nice to see. Okay, it is feeling like maybe the loot is definitely better on medium alpha versus small alpha, with hopefully the best loot we're ever going to get here, right? Large alpha.
Look what you can do when you listen to me.
Is it worth it? Obviously 3 thralls once again. Actually got some cryos this time. And looking at it BP wise, there does feel like there is more BPs being offered here. We've got 2 cursed tech rifles. We've got 2 cursed tech pants, some tech boots, cursed pick, cursed long neck, some tech gauntlets, a Serato BP, pump shotty, mediocre traits, a few cursed pre-made stuff, flamethrower, riot gear. But this right here, I think, is the crux of the problem. I don't know whether this is worth it. Is it? Well, we're going to have to do these a few more times. So, right. So, here we go. We've completed 3 of each mission. Feeding like the rule of 3 is always a good way to go. So, we've got a small, medium, and large for Gamma. We've got the same for Beta and the same for Alpha. Let's see if large outposts are really worth it, looking at the RNG, of course, of the loot from doing 3 of each missions. So, Vault 1. Looking at our cryo fridge, we've of course got 1 of each thrall. No amazing levels. In fact, I tell a lie. We actually got a 344 thrall from a Gamma small. That actually happened. And loot-wise, I mean, you know, we got a cursed tech boot BP out of at least one of them. We got a tech gauntlet BP, a few other cursed pre-made stuffs, but all pretty low tier quality as to be expected, as well of course as those sigils and some red elements. Not really much else there to get me super hyped, but moving on to the medium version of Gamma, and we can see certainly an increase here in a few more BPs of that Malwin BP that we got before, a couple more cursed BPs, a tech helmet BP. Certainly more traits coming through now. Just noting there, in fact, going back to Gamma for a second, we actually got no traits whatsoever from small Gamma, but from medium Gamma, we definitely got traits every time. There they are there, with some more resources. But still pretty low quality stuff. We are moving up into Apprentice a bit more on a few items there, but nothing to really sing or dance about. Thrall-wise, again, it does all seem to be pure RNG on what level you're going to get. I don't think anything makes a difference. But you never know. As we move on to Alpha, we might see maybe a threshold. Maybe you can't get some of these lower tiers thralls like this level 86. On to large Gamma now. And seeing slight improvement there. We've got a Blood Forge out of one of them, which is very nice to see. Not much more room for improvement on quality of BPs. And in fact, not a single tech one this time. We've got actually a cryo hospital this time out of this large one, as well as some more pre-made stuff. Actually, less traits from doing a large Gamma, which makes it less worthwhile. A few medical stands, and not really much else there to get me even desiring to do a large Gamma for any reason at all. Don't see any reason there. Tell me why I should do it. I really don't. Oh, and thrall-wise again, all seems to be RNG. We got a level 17. Jeez. Out of doing one of those. But onto Beta, and I'm hoping to see better. First off, the thralls. Do we see a threshold on the level of thralls? Possibly. I'm not seeing anything lower than 100 this time around. The lowest we actually got was this one, a 115 thrall this time around. And we can definitely see a marginal improvement. Instead of Ramshackle and Apprentice, we're now seeing Journeyman and Apprentice blueprints. A few more cursed here. We've got a nice cheeky Journeyman cursed tech rifle there with some tech pants, Arctic armor, and a little step up in the trait game there. We've got some greater traits this time around. A few more cursed bits and pieces, med stands, mats, and of course sigils once again, and elements. Still though, I feel like an improvement on this element game could definitely be worthwhile. And we'll keep an eye on that as we go through the next few. Moving on to medium beta. Thralls all seem to be, yeah, pretty high level. Everything here is at least 200. With the goods looking gooder. We got a nice looking cursed tech BP there. I wonder if you can get actually pre-made cursed tech. I am wondering. With some other tech BPs there, some of the cursed items there too. Some pre-made stuff, a cheeky pre-made Ascendant Desmodus saddle. Lots of cursed riot gear. No greater traits. Med stand. Spino saddle, and that's really it. No improvement on elements, no improvement on much else there, apart from just a larger quantity, a larger pool of items to get. And then moving on to large beta, we've got, in fact, a 1-2-1 thrall, so there is still a chance of getting low-tiered thralls, our lowest being that 1-2-1 there. With the loot looking more expansive, I think it's just a bigger gamble there. We do see a cursed tech sword BP, which is nice. Cursed campaign bow BP, cursed tech helmet, cursed tech pants, some arctic armor BPs, a few tech sword BPs, tech gear BPs, a blood forge, a few more cursed pre-made items, which is nice to see. Traits, saddles, got a wreck saddle there, that's nice to see. Coptodon, not an improvement on elements once again. It does feel like we're getting a few more cursed tech BP pieces, but I want pre-made, man. Like, this thing is expensive. Like, it's pretty expensive to craft. I want some pre-made stuff if I'm going for these larges, I think. But there you go. Moving on to the big ones. Here we go. So, Alpha Small. Do we see an improvement on the Thralls? I think we do. Nothing under 200 there. They all seem to be higher level. Possibly an improvement here on the BPs. We can see a nice cheeky Ascendant 154 cursed tech sword BP. That apprentice one's probably even better to use with a bit of craft skill on it as well, seeing that the cost is relatively cheap. Tech rifle BP, some tech armor, some pre-made cursed gear, and a variety of traits and saddles. And again, it's all the same quantity of sigils and pure RNG on that red element. No vast improvement. I feel like these two in particular we definitely need to see some change on, without a doubt, as we move on to medium alpha. And the thralls seem to be maybe improved on level. There seems to be more close to the 300 mark than not, with the loot seemingly more plentiful. Lots of cursed tech BPs this time around. In fact, we've got a full blown set apart from the gauntlets in BPs, which is nice. A few cheeky tech rifle BPs, sword BPs, flak BPs, cursed tech crossbow, bunch more tech BPs, rifles, gear, black pearls in abundance, bunch of cursed gear, a Desmodus saddle, somehow worse quality than the previous tier below it. No greater traits, not really an improvement there. It seems like the best loot we're getting here out of this is a larger quantity of cursed BPs, but good grief, they're expensive to make. 250 element for that one and 250 red element for that one too. No. So, the big question, is this one here worth it? This is us doing 3 of these. And let's see. Thralls all seem to be in the high 200s. Not really. I don't feel like I'm getting any improvement on Thralls over the previous 2 tiers. So what about the loots? Come on. Would this be worth your time? I don't know, man. I don't think so. We're seeing maybe about the same quantity of BPs as the beta, really. I mean, obviously it's all RNG. We do see a nice cheeky Mastercraft Serato BP there. I don't know, we got some cool glider suit BPs, that's nice to see. Tech rifle BPs, no, nothing for me to really desire to push to do large outposts over anything. Lesser traits, nothing there. No improvement on elements, no improvement on sigils. And I think that answers the question. There is, unless you want to go for a larger pool, but with a greater chance of failing medium or large outposts, you might as well just stick to gamma. There doesn't feel like there's much reason to go for large versus the likelihood of failing them, because if you get that Bronto, you can kiss this loot goodbye. I would much prefer to invest the time on gammas than I would by far on alphas, and I'm pretty sure that resonates for everybody. This was something a lot of you probably already knew the answer to, but it's good to see it in the flesh and get it kind of proven. I do wonder if following this there might be some changes. I guess we'll have to see. So until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and as always, peace out.